now. It's not much of a chance, but I still, there's an undercurrent for me that says they got a shot.
I don't want to. I'm not going to take away your breakfast, but I want at least some biscuits.
Shooting biscuit.
I want some biscuits. That I don't think it's going to happen.
Maybe. Whoa, yes, let's do that. What about the third game? You guys wanted to talk about the other one that had big implications.
Yeah, go ahead, T-Dog.
I thought it was an interesting game. Just because I will say this. I think my favorite player, I'm not going to say he's my favorite player in the league. My favorite player to watch this year just kind of blossomed into an absolute superstar. Was a vital part in the 49ers winning, and that's Deebo Samuels.
Yeah.
The way they use Deebo Samuels as like a true, not just like, hey, let's give him 2 rushes and like, or on end arounds like the rushes. No, they line him up at running back. And the way, and you look at how limited his touches are, you're like, well, on these limited touches, there's no way to guarantee he's going to get in the end zone. He almost consistently had like a touchdown rushing. He had more rushing touchdowns than receiving touchdowns. I believe he had 6 or 7 as a running back, as a true running back, not just doing these end arounds. And just when you watch him catch the ball, it almost always feels like they'll get him maybe on like a slant or like an in route.
Something's going to happen
for like 10 yards or 5 yards, and he busted it for another 20. He just feels like he's in the prime of his career, and it's only year 3, and it's just so fun to watch. And then you add on to it Kittle, Ayuk. It took a few weeks to get going. He's really playing well.
And what about Jimmy G? He finally delivers. I don't think we've all been fans of his, but no thumb.
With a busted thumb.
Right, no ligament, whatever. How about it?
Yeah. I think plus they're got a winning season for the first time since the Super Bowl season, right?
Right.
Yes. I mean, it's just crazy. But they got a shot.
Peaking at the right time.
Yeah.
And I guess on the other side, it's just kind of a hard loss for the Rams. I think they could have been a 2 seed, and now they fall and they play Arizona, a team that knows them. And I think I don't know off the top of my head, Arizona might be getting back some key players, so like they'll be fresher than what they were closing of the year because they really kind of fell off. But it also Kyle Shanahan. I mean, you know, Sean McVay is great, but he's a acolyte of Kyle Shanahan, and you know, he can't be the master. If you look at the record against the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan owns Sean McVay. So
right. I give them a good shot to beat the Cowboys, actually, the Niners. I really do. Yeah.
And also I still, you know, I'm still going to rep for my man Stafford, but also down the back end, like looks like he's feeling it. At least his play seems to be like he's feeling it. He's forcing balls, and that's not what you want rounding into January, February. No. So
I just look at him, and I'm sentimentally, I want him to have a good shot here because of all that time in Detroit. But he's done some stuff in recent games where it's like, whoa,
he looks like he's in Detroit, right?
It's like he's throwing into double coverage a lot. I mean, a lot. And he's getting away with it on a number of occasions, but you're not going to beat those guys consistently.
I mean, the play to end the game. I mean, you look at it. Odell beat his man. He underthrew it.
That ball was way underthrew.
He underthrew it. I mean, that's the thing. And again, I know Baker would blame that on Beckham, but like, again, that's the quarterback's fault. So, like, Beckham. But
speaking of Baker, Case Keenum came in and just did it, baby. It's like Journeyman took those assets and did something with it.
Case Keenum's had a great career, really.
Admittedly, the Bengals didn't play everybody on defense at their top, but still, it's like, Baker just lost the big money. Baker's going to be a backup next year, probably in Texas.
I don't think so. Stefanski says he's the man, so we'll see.
No.
Another pancake dinner coming there from Loves.
No.
All right, looking forward to the big wild card weekend. What team scares you the most and say, "Ooh, look out for these guys"? We've said the Niners, right? Who else?
I would say for me, the Bills probably. They look better than I would give them credit for, as far as all of that. goes. But they're going up against Patriots, and you never know with Belichick, and because Matt Jones, other than that one throw the other day, he's not looked like a rookie. But he did throw that pick six, man. It was like, dude, you don't see that guy standing there. But with Belichick, he'll have a plan, and they have a good defense. So they'll give, but I still think Buffalo is the stronger of those two teams.
I'll give one for each conference. In the NFC, I think J-Boy nailed it. I think the 49ers. I think with just, and again, I know Jimmy G, he played well. I know that's the thing that will make people nervous and give you the yips, but their front seven can be dominant. I also, besides Jimmy G, I worry about their corners, but they can play solid enough that they can get pressure. They can play well on defense, and just the assortment of Deebo Samuels, Ayuk, Kittle, Elijah Mitchell, who was like, I think, a 6th-round pick and has completely balled out as a running back. They have so many weapons, and Trent Williams should be back. So like they have so many weapons, and Kyle Shanahan, the one thing you got to give him is he comes up with a plan against all his opponents, and he usually will make it work. So I think they're the most dangerous. Then on the other side, I'll make it even simpler. The last 2 games that he played fully, and again, to be fair, Lugs kind of pointed out that the Ravens, I guess it was week 16, they don't have anyone in their secondary. So like he was doing it against a bad secondary. That being said, the last 2 games that he played fully, Joe Burrow was on an absolute fire.
Yep.
And I just look at the way they have him playing with those 3 receivers, with Joe Mixon in the backfield. Their defense, while it doesn't get the attention, they have played well. It looks like they overpaid for Trey Hendrickson. He's looked like a star. Mm-hmm. So that's the team I worry about.
Yeah, I think they're peaking at the right time too. What do you say about that, Lugs?
Well, they're going up against the Raiders, and I think the defensive line of the Raiders will scare Burrow. But I think that'll be a fairly even game. So that one's hard to call, but I would have to lean toward the Raiders on that deal.
Okay. They did play this year, and to be fair to your point, it was a tight game in terms of score, but the Bengals did beat them.
Yes, sir. The Derek Carr House of Pancakes. That's what we're going to call that one.
Yeah.
All right. You want to look at the playoffs or move on to the coaches? Where do you want to go?
I guess I'll ask you all. Where do you all see like a potential upset in this wild card round? We don't have to look far down the road, but
I see a potential upset with Philadelphia.
Really?
Wow. All right.
Why so? Can I ask?
I just don't. Other than Gronk, who does Brady have? And I just think the Philadelphia defense is, especially their defensive line, I think they'll be able to get after Brady. They will get him off the spot, which is what you have to do. So I think, it's an outside shot. No kidding me, or don't get me wrong. But I see that Philadelphia has a better chance than most people would give them.
And I'm going to go with, we already talked about it, but I think, and it's not that much of an upset, but I like Arizona over the Rams. I think they've played them enough. They know them enough. And Stafford is looking more old Stafford. So I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals over the Rams. How about you, dog?
Just to make them different, and we all kind of agree 49ers, even though they're the under, I'm not going to count on them since I already gave them enough love. I'll go with the Patriots, mainly because last time they played them, obviously the Bills were headstrong to beat them. And look, Josh Allen played out of his mind. And obviously he is one of the top quarterbacks, but he played one of his best games. To say he's going to play his same level of game again. And also the missing element that is vital, I think the Patriots against this Buffalo Bills that was missing. Ramondre Stevens was on the COVID list on that game. He and Harris, the 1-2 punch of those two guys where they can just hammer Buffalo, because we saw against Jonathan Taylor, you can hammer the Buffalo if you have a strong running game, which Patriots have. So I think I'm going to call the Patriots upsetting the Bills.
All right, that's your playoff wildcard weekend. 6 games. I mean, is this magical over 3 days? The ratings will be
is.
through the roof, and the teams look good, and it just timed out. Thank you, Roger Goodell. Thank you, Nickelodeon, for bringing us future great games, I think.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about that. What?
Storylines.
It's good storylines. Yeah, with SpongeBob on the sidelines. All right.
Yeah.
Black Monday. Any comments? Let's do a couple of minutes on that. Thoughts? The coachings, the GMs. What?
I got to say that I was shocked that Miami got rid of Brian Flores. I mean, he, they're trying to spin it, the management, that he's hard to get along with. Well, I would be hard to get along with when he wanted Justin Herbert, lobbied for him strongly, and that GM picked Tua. And so Flores has been dealing with Tua when he sees Herbert out there. I mean, that would have been the difference. So, but I think Flores will end up maybe Chicago or maybe Seattle, but he will have another shot here. Fangio, I'm not so, I don't know about. And Nagy, I don't know what he's going to do.
Quarterback's coach somewhere.
And Joe Judge,
Division III, I think.
I have no clue. Joe Judge, maybe Texas, as something.
So what do you mean, Texas? The Texans?
The Texans. Maybe as safeties coach. I don't know, man.
Do they have safeties coaches?
Secondaries coaches.
Secondary, but I didn't know we broke it down to safeties.
Maybe that's Texans are next level. They have safeties, and then the year after they have a free safety coach, and then a strong safety coach.
What do you say, T-Dog? What's your thoughts on the whole mess there?
I agree with Lugs. The surprise firing was Flores. You look at what he had to start with year one, and they won 5 games with that roster back 3 years ago was impressive. And then he won 10 games, I believe, last year, and then they went 9-8 this year. So and also two of the wins were they bookended first game of the season, last game of the season. He has 2 wins against Belichick this year. So, I mean, I don't know. And like you all said, you can definitely feel that a lot of people in the league feel it was a mistake because he's already been hot in being interviewed right away by all these teams that are looking to fill a spot.
Well, they're all looking at the same guys. Have you seen these lists of potential and the interviews? Everybody's on the same everybody.
I feel sorry for whoever's making these lists because it's like 50 to 60 people deep. It's like they're interviewing the person, their uncle, their sister, their brother. They're all going for the same job.
Oh,
anyway,
and here's just a little stat I want to throw at you. This is kind of fun. Since Bill Belichick was hired by the Patriots, 173 other NFL coaches have also been hired. So that's what it's about, I guess.
Yeah. I guess the funny game that we're not going to even talk about, there's no reason to talk about the game, but like the funny game that would have been fascinating to watch, just like cameras on the sidelines and in the upper deck, was when the Bears and the Vikings game, because both those coaches and both those GMs kind of knew that like they were out. Like I particularly the GM with Spielman, I would have been nice to see a shot. Like he was probably clearing out his desk. He's like,
you think they're up there together and they had a beer together, Pace and Spielman up in the box? Do you think?
Might as well. I mean,
it's on the house for now anyway.
Yeah,
for a few, still get free beer for the game.
Yeah, so Flores going to get another head coaching job. A lot of those other guys get fired. You never know down the road. Zimmer will definitely be, if he wants to be a coordinator again. Yeah. He's obviously, he was a high-level coordinator for a long period of time. Fangio the same way. He'll be a coordinator if he wants to be. Though both those guys will be picked up very quickly, probably as quickly as Flores will be picked up as a head coach. Nagy, kind of like I think Lug said, Nagy will maybe be a offensive control. I think it's like the very lowest rung. I think it's the very lowest rung you could have. He'll maybe get that job and maybe work his way up through his career again to maybe being a quarterback's coach. I don't think he ever gets above that again.
Wow. And, this is a cold room. It's cold.
That's me being mean. I apologize, but still. And then
deserving though, really. Come on.
Deserving. And Joe Judge, I wish they would have just held on him, not for the Giants fan sanity, not till like through they would get another coach. I